What's up, you guys? It's your boy Divij Vaswani. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to negotiate with brands as an influencer and how you guys as creators can start to make a lot of money through brand partnerships. Now the key here is understanding what your content is, who are the people that are actually watching your content and engaging with your content, and then also understanding what are the brands in the space that you could start to reach out to basically have them as advertisers within your content, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, literally doesn't matter. So let's dive straight in. Make sure you guys subscribe, smash that like button, turn post notifications on, and let's get into the video. I have 7 tips for you guys today on how you guys can start to negotiate with brands and actually get business as an influencer. So the first tip is you have to fully understand what your content is, okay? If you're making lifestyle related videos, really hone in on the lifestyle content, because you'll find that a lot of brands specifically ask for lifestyle creators. You know, if you're a beauty creator and your channel has consistently been about beauty, but one day you decide to start making videos about cars, that can start to confuse brands a little bit. So the key is just making sure that you have a niche with your content. Okay, so that's the first thing. As a second tip is once you've achieved that niche, you have to start to recognize what brands are within the space, and you have to start to realize what you want as a creator. Think about the brands that you guys are using, right? So if you're a beauty creator, think about the beauty brands that you guys are already using in the morning. Are you using Maybelline, Dermalogica, Neutrogena? What are those companies? You know, what are those companies that you guys are using? And those are the brands that you should really focus on, because guess what? You already naturally love the product, you already use it, so organically it just makes sense for your brand. And I'm sure in the past you've already raved about these brands to your audience, so when you do decide to do a paid partnership, your audience isn't completely thrown off. And that leads me into my third point, which is when you do these partnerships, you have to think about how your audience is gonna react. It's very common for influencers to start to lose followers, lose engagement, because they're just doing every single sponsorship that comes their way. But when you as a creator are selective and you start to choose the brands that you work with, that's when your audience is going to start to really respect you as a creator. And guess what? They'll probably start to interact more with those sponsored posts and actually buy the products that you promote, because they know that it's so truthful to you as a creator, which is then in turn going to make the brand super happy, which is then going to start to make you more money. So once you've identified those brands, right, now you have to start to do outreach. You have to try and get in touch with these brands. And if you're not a business person or if you're not an agent or you don't have an agent, this can get really confusing and it can get really complicated and tedious, which it is. So I'm gonna share with you guys some of those tactics that you can use to start to reach out to brands. So my favorite platforms for reaching out to brands are 1000% LinkedIn, Instagram, and Clubhouse. Now these are the 3 best platforms in my opinion in 2021 to start to get in touch with the right people at the brands who are actually in charge of their budgets for influencers, okay? Now there's certain titles of people that you guys want to actually reach out to. So there's the influencer marketing manager, the growth marketing manager, the influencer coordinator, you know, growth partnerships, entertainment marketing. These are all titles of the people at the brands that you're trying to work with who actually run the influencer campaigns. So you have to use, again, you have to use platforms like LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Instagram to actually get in touch with those people. Now the question is, what do you say? You have to do research on the brand, try and see what other influencers they've worked with, and then in your emails to these people, you know, send them your deck. Of course, you have to have a deck of your statistics, your analytics, so the brand can understand quickly sort of what you do and what your content's about. So in these emails, you can start to be strategic and say, hey, you know, if you're reaching out to Neutrogena, you could be like, hey, I noticed you just launched this new product. I absolutely love it. Here's some content ideas that I have that I think would be really cool for promoting Neutrogena. Then you obviously want to link your channel and send them your deck. And that is going to be your best way to actually get in touch with these people, because they're going to see that you took the time and effort to actually do research on them. Those are some tips on doing the outreach. The next thing is once you actually get in touch with the brand, it's going to kind of come down to what are the deliverables and what are the budgets, right? So one thing that people get really, you know, kind of scared of here is they're scared to ask brand what their budgets are. It's okay to ask the brand what their budgets are, okay? You don't have to always put out your rate. Sometimes it's better to let them speak up first, okay? Now there are going to be certain times where the brand says, you know, we don't have a budget, we really just need to know your rate. At that point, you can use certain metrics to determine what your content or what your platform is worth, right? So there's really one metric, and that's CPM. CPM is just cost per milli, which is a cost per 1,000 views for a brand to advertise within your content. So if you're getting 1,000 views, typically brands are going to spend $10 to $50 CPM. You know, your channel at 100,000 views at a 10 CPM is going to be about $1,000. If it's a 50 CPM, it's going to be $5,000, which means if you're getting an average of 1 million views, you'll make somewhere between $10,000 and $50,000 for your content in terms of a brand integration. So it gets super complicated, so feel free to hit me up on CPM and sort of these metrics. But the key is, guys, do your research, figure out what the brand's budgets are, and then you can start to negotiate the price. Now guys, a lot of times these negotiation processes can be super quick and the deals can get done super fast. A lot of the other times, the brands and the influencers are just so far apart that it's hard to actually come to an agreement. So just know when to walk away. It's okay if you can't get a deal with a certain company, because guess what? There's plenty of fish in the sea. There's hundreds and thousands of brands out there that you guys can start to get in contact with. So it's okay if you have to walk away from a deal. Don't let it stress you out. Just move on to the next. 2 more tips for you guys. The first thing is you have to practice. Like anything else, business is a sport and it takes practice. You don't just become the best football player overnight. You have to practice and you have to keep doing so. So you can start to practice with your friends. You can reach out to some smaller brands and have conversations with them and just start to get your name out there and just have conversations. And over time, I promise you the negotiation skills will get more improved and you'll be much better at negotiating with brands. So, and the last tip for you guys is make sure you're treating everybody with respect. At the end of the day, business is people, right? You gotta understand that on the other side of this email chain that you're in, it's an actual person that's sitting there and has the ability to make a decision on whether or not they wanna work with you. So just make sure you're treating people with respect, be nice, and just have a good time. Influencer marketing is super fun and you can make a lot of money. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope this was super helpful. Again, my name is Divij Vaswani with Division Media. Make sure you guys subscribe, smash that like button, turn post notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.